Hello, my lovely. So this is Lizzie from Love From Lizi, and so today I'm doing my voiceover from Arizona, which makes a nice change. But this is for the February 2018 10 cards 1 kit from the Love From Lizi card kit. So I'm going straight into my first card, and here I'm just using one of the cut apart sheets, and I'm just using scissors. You can use a trimmer if it's easier for you, but I like using the big scissors. And then I'm just using a strip of patterned paper that I cut down with my trimmer, and using some double-sided sticky tape just to run along either edge, just to pop that straight into the centre of my card base. And I used one of the mint green card bases here. I do use the lines on my grid mat just to make sure it is in the centre, and then turn it over and snip the extra off. I'm now popping a peel off along either side of that seam. Now here you'll see this cut apart that I've chosen has got a circle with celebrate in the middle, so I've used my craft knife so that I don't have to cut in from the edge. Cut the circle out, and then on the reverse side pop some double-sided sticky tape and attach some acetate. And now I'm just doubling up my foam tape. This is how I like to do it. I fold it back on itself so that it's all nice and smooth. And then for this particular one, I've cut it into 3 narrow strips. Now I know you can get strips out there that are the perfect width and height for doing shaker cards. I don't have them, so this is how I do it. And because I've made them so nice and thin, I can actually sort of bend them around the circle, as opposed to just making like a square and letting all the sequins drop down and hide where you can't quite see them in the corners. And here I'm just taking some double-sided sellotape and putting it on the back of that circle that I cut out. And then using the lines on my grid mat, I make sure that it's towards the top but in the centre. And then I pop a few of the sequins from the sequin mix that's in the kit on top of that celebrate, and then I line up the square on top and pop it down with. Here I'm just running the narrowest of peel offs around the edges. Now this is proof that I make my cards sort of as I go, because ideally I should have done that before I stuck the shaker aspect together. But there we go, so that's card 1 done. Here's card 2, and I just thought I'd use one of these little fake chalkboards, if you like. This is a really clean and simple, nice quick card. So I'm using the white card base. Make sure you have it the right way up before you start, unlike me. And here I'm just using my pencil to mark on where exactly it is I want to cut it. And it is ever so slightly smaller than the card base. So if you prefer to measure, it's only, I would say, take 1/4 of an inch off. I've cut that out using the trimmer, and here I'm just using my medium Nuvo tipped glue pen to run over one of the wooden hearts from the kit, and also along all the edges. And I'm making a bit of an effort to not do it nicely. Naturally I want to keep it all nice and clean and straightforward, but the gilding flakes, I really do like the look when it's a little bit messy along the edges. So here you're just seeing me, I use one of the a coffee filter to catch all the flakes to try to keep it tidy, which is great until you sneeze, which, ask me how I know. But anyway, I simply lay the flakes into the glue, and then once I've sort of laid it in, I then use my fingernail to scratch the extra off, and then to make it nice and shiny, I have quite a stiff tipped brush that I sort of scratch into the gilding flakes, and it gives a really nice effect. But if I can offer any tips up, I wouldn't dump the whole bag out, because it's not easy to get it all back in again. You'll struggle. Okay, so now I'm just taking some double-sided sellotape to the back of the pink bouquet pattern and attaching that directly onto my card front in the centre. Now using some foam squares, I'm just pop mounting up the hello, and that is actually a speech bubble, but I cut the little tail off from the bottom right, I think you can see there. And I did this because I wanted to stick the little heart over it. I didn't want the strange little, there's no one speaking, the hello is not coming from anyone. So I popped my little gilded heart on that corner. And again, should have done this beforehand, but I'm just popping some foam up under that bottom corner of the heart just to support it so it doesn't get pushed and knocked off. Here I'm just going around the hello with some glossy accents, and forgive me if you're right-handed, but I start from the right-hand side and work back rather than the other way around. Okay, so here we're on to card 3 now. And I've taken a piece of patterned paper. Now, this is quite unlike me, but I really did want that whole gradient. I didn't want there to be more pink or more green. So I've cut the paper the length that I want, and then I will put my card base smack bang in the middle so that I'm still getting as much as I can of each of those two colours at the top and bottom. So I've put some double-sided sellotape from top to bottom, and then I lay the card base directly in the middle, so to make sure that it's nice and even, and then just use my scissors to snip off the rest. And here I've picked up a couple of circle dies that have got a stitching on the inside. They're Tim Holtz ones, and I just die cut through the patterned paper and the card front. And here I'm using another one of the cut aparts, and then I sort of lay it in so that I can see that it's in the right position through the hole, because this circle die is only ever so slightly larger. So to make sure that I stick it in the right place, I washi taped it to the front where I wanted it, put some double-sided sellotape on the back, and then closed the card up again. And then I took the washi tape away, and the inside piece was in exactly the right place. So here I'm taking the next die up in the set, and I've just created like a tiny frame made from the black specialty cardstock and stuck that down using some glossy accents. Then I take the thin black ribbon, and I've just popped some very small pieces of double-sided sellotape and then attach those, and whilst that doesn't look very pretty in normal sense, I knew that I'd be covering that over with sentiment, so I took one of the little stickers from the spiral bound sticker book, popped it also onto that black matte specialty cardstock, snipped it out, and then put it over that join on the ribbon. And here I'm using my Spectrum Noir sparkle pen, and I'm just going all the way over the icing, because what icing isn't sparkly? And then I come in with the Nuvo drops from the kit, and I don't know if you have them where you are, but we have these they're like little pearls that you can put into your in your cakes for your decorating, so I thought I'd put some of those on. So that's the end of card 3. Now on to card 4. I'm taking card blank, and I've put some double-sided sellotape all over the back of the black cardstock. This isn't the specialty one, this is just the regular black cardstock. And I'm only folding back the corners on 2 of the corners, and this is just to make sure I line it up right. It gives me a little more play rather than trying to stick it down and then peel it back up again. And here I'm just popping some double-sided sellotape onto the back of a piece of the specialty glitter cardstock from the kit, and I'm just running that up towards the left-hand side. Now, this circle that you've just seen me attach is the leftover from the last card. I popped some foam tape on the back of it, and here I've used the Happy Birthday die and the little banner dies, and cut that also from the glitter cardstock just to have everything all matching nicely. I did 2 of the tags along with the sentiment, and then put some glossy accents on the back of the die, the Happy Birthday die, sorry, and I've just popped that on the circle going off onto the card base. Now I could have 3D mounted up behind, but it looked absolutely fine as it is. And I popped some more glossy accents on the back of these 2 banners, and I just stick those down at the top. This isn't my usual sort of style for card making, so it's, yeah, I'm always trying to try something new, but this was an interesting make, shall we say. But the little stars that are the leftovers from the tag die, I just popped some glue on the back and then added them onto the little white tag that goes on the diamond. I lay it down, and I use some glossy accents underneath the rope just to hold it up. So that's the end of that card. Now on to card 5. And I'm using the lines on my grid mat, and I knew that I wanted to do a little bit of an unusual card front. So here I've measured a V towards the bottom of the card. Used just my pencil and my ruler to do that, and then used my scissors to cut that all the way along to snip it off. And then I took some patterned paper and made sure that the piece that I was cutting was slightly longer and the same width as the piece that I'd cut away. Put some double-sided sellotape on the inside at the bottom of my V, and then at the top of my patterned paper. Took the backing off all pieces and had the double-sided sellotape at the top and the inside. And then just close the card over, and then all the adhesive's in the right place. Now, this was a bit of an experiment for me because I haven't done any masking before with the Distress oxides, but all I did was just stamped the stamp that I wanted to use onto a post-it note, making sure that there was plenty of sticky behind the balloon, and then I just started stamping. I used 3 colours: fossilised amber, cracked pistachio, and I can't remember the other one, and I'm ever so sorry, but I'm not sitting at my desk. I'm about 5,000 miles away from it, but I'll put it into the blog post. So I used my little post-it note mask to cover over the different balloons. It did bleed through a little bit, so if you do mimic this, perhaps use something thicker than just a regular post-it note. And then I stamped the tail on the ones that were short enough to do it on. I didn't want to double stamp, so all I did here was bring in a pen. I just used my, I'm jumping ahead now, sorry. I did stamp the happy birthday one. I did use all the plain ones for the background stamps, but in black I stamped happy birthday on a piece of the scrap cardstock and then mounted that up in the middle. And here I'm using my Distress marker pen just to draw tails for the rest of the balloons. I did add the ribbon to the centre one, and that's the end of that card. So, card 6. And sadly my least favourite, I suppose there always has to be one. I used the pink card base and a piece of black cardstock, the non-specialty, and then a little strip of that stripy paper that I'd used in the last kit. Popped some double-sided sellotape just down the centre of that piece, and then lining my black cardstock up on my grid mat just to make sure that all my lines were going to be straight. I'll pop that up on one side.
Hi guys, it's Laura from Crafty Not Shifty. So you might have noticed if you've been in the Facebook group recently that I have been sneaking in and taking over the Facebook group. So I decided why not do the same thing to the videos as well. And Lizzie spent a lot of time talking to a lot of people here at Creativation, so we'll give her voice a break for a minute and we'll see how long she'll let me play with this before she jumps in. So the strip of cardstock here, the black and white strip, she's just adding some of the peel-offs on either side. So I was explaining to Lizzie that I had never used peel-offs until I started to get the Love From Lizi kits, and I find it pretty difficult now to put a piece of paper on top of another piece of paper and not want to add a peel-off on top because it neatens up the edges, it makes everything nice and neat. Okay, she's moving on, I need to keep up. So what have we got here? We've got a sticker, and she's just adding some powder on the back so she can add some foam adhesive, I imagine. And then there's some double-sided tape applied to this piece here, and one of those beautiful diamond paper clips has been added. And she's just lining that up using that grid mat like she likes to do, and then adding that sticker that has got some dimension behind it. And then I love these gold mirror kind of chevron pieces. So she's taken a couple of these and adding those onto the top. Now, I've seen this card, and she's got a couple extra things that she adds to it. So we've got some Nuvo drops that are being added on the top here, and again on the bottom. And then, because you can't be finished with the mirror yet, so she's added a couple more pieces of the mirror. Kind of looks like we've got directions across the bottom of the card pointing you towards the sentiment, which I like. And then in real life, there's a couple extra things on that. She added some more of these stickers, I believe. Okay, so we can see her hair, hello, and we've got some of these colour-in sticker sheets. So I've not played with these yet, but these look really cool. I believe that you can also colour them with your alcohol markers, you can use your pencils, you can use whatever you've got here. So what have we got on the desk? We've got some pink and some black and some yellow and some green or turquoise, depending on how particular you want to be. So we've got 4 colours in total, and she's just working her way around, colouring in. And so I like these. So for me, I'm hopeless at drawing, so I love it when you've got a nice stamp set that you can colour in. But I think for these stickers in particular, it's so quick and easy to just kind of take them with you. You've got them all ready to go. You don't need to find your paper, get everything stamped out, pack it all in a bag. Like, I'm not that organised. I'm not going to have that ready for when I realise I've got 5 minutes. It's not going to happen. So to have a sheet like this that's ready for me to kind of go and throw it in a bag and take it with me, usually in the car. So I'm pretty lazy. Darren does an awful lot of our driving.
I'm going to jump in here.
Oh!
At Creativation, one young lady came with no craft supplies. One young lady came with far too many craft supplies. Take a guess at who was who.
Yeah, so I was last minute with my packing. I kind of stood and had a mini panic attack in my craft room trying to figure out what to pack and what to bring with me. And things like this are nice and easy because there's no decision making. You pick them up, you put them in a bag, and you take them with you. Anything on top of that, yeah, I'm not prepared. So, what have we missed? Okay, so we've taken that sticker and it has been added on top of a circle die cut. And then it looks like Lizzie's just taking the black pencil and working her way around that sticker just to add a nice border. It kind of looks like there's a mat added behind that sticker, but without any of the effort of doing the fussy cutting. So that's a nice way just to make it pop off the centre there. Okay, so now are we making a card base or are we making a background? Let's see. It looks a little, oh, we've got a bone folder, so that usually means it's a card base. Okay, and I like that trick. So did you see what happened there? So for anyone that hasn't got a scoreboard, you can just go ahead and use the kind of dip in the centre of your paper trimmer and use that as the section where you can go ahead and score your card. Okay, so we've got the black card base, and then we've got the pink ribbon. And I'm going to have to get Lizzie to show me how she tied that bow because that was really quick. I know this video is probably sped up, but I don't know. I sit there for about 5 minutes trying to kind of fuss around with my ribbon, and that looked nice and easy. So yeah, I'm going to get a 1-to-1 for that one to figure that out. Okay, so we've got more of the colouring pieces. So it looked like a glue dot's been used to apply that pink ribbon. And then this looks like a sentiment to me. So again, with that black pencil, she's working away on the sentiment and just filling in the letters so they stand out a little bit more. I'm not too sure if she's going to colour this in yet, we'll find out. So Creativation, I think I mentioned already, I took over the Facebook group and there are a ton of live videos. She knows about them now, so it's fine. But yeah, I did some sneak peeks. I tried to show you guys what we were seeing and what we were looking at, what we were getting excited about, so you could get excited as well. And particularly for Lawn Fawn, you'll want to go and take a look at that and quickly get your requests in for anything that you want her to stock, so she knows, so she can add it onto her order forms, get them in the shop, and then we can all be happy. And we've also there's going to be a giveaway for a Heffy Doodle stamp in the Love From Lizi Facebook group as well. Okay, while I was waffling, that card finished. We're on to card 8. We've got some washi tape. Okay, so this is either going to be an edge on this card or the card's being taped down. Let's take a look. Oh, we've got the stamp set, so we're going to have some stamping here. So I love these balloons. I like the fact that you've got the solid balloon and you've got the sentiment balloons. Oh, we've got heat embossing, I think. So we've got some Versamark coming up. Let's see. Okay, so we're making it, I say we, I wasn't there, I'm just watching. So there is a pattern being created on the background of this page with some stamps. And this looks like the numbers. And then, I don't know what this is a teeny tiny little bit, we'll find out. We'll see in a second. Okay, the tape's coming back up. We don't need the tape. Oh, the T-square rule is out. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to have perfectly straight lines with whatever's going on. that looks like a quickie glue pen to me. So this is going to be nice and sticky with the combination of the Versamark ink, which is just, if you're not familiar with it, it's a clear sticky ink that takes a while to dry, so it's really useful for applying stuff over the top. Quite often embossing powders, but let's see what's going on here. Oh, okay. I should have seen this coming. This makes sense. So these are the gilding flakes. And these suckers, once you take them out of the bag, you don't need, I mean, look, there's just the tiniest amount there that came onto that card, and once you stop burnishing everything into the paper, the flakes kind of break down into smaller pieces, which means you get these tiny, tiny little pieces that all stick together. Okay, so we've got, oh, okay, I see what's going on. We've got a watermark background with the Versamark, so there's kind of a tone-on-tone effect in the background, and then that is all framed up with the foiled kind of background frame. And now we've got some masking, so we've got some stamping, and okay, so we've got a present, and then there is a balloon sticking out the top of the present, and then this is all just going to be fussy cut out together. Okay, so then this has been placed down on top of the card, and then I'm going to have to figure this out. I don't know, is it only me who has these problems with tying bows? I don't know, but I'm going to try and figure it out and see what this trick is, this magic bow tying nonsense that's going on here. I don't know this trick, maybe everybody else does, but yeah, I'm going to get a one-to-one. Maybe she should make a video on it. You should let her know if you need it too. Okay, so cut aparts. Cut aparts are one of my favourites. So we're going ahead and snipping out this cut apart here. And then there's some glue. I think this means the flakes are coming back out. So this is a good way to get a nice thin line with the quickie glue pen. Okay, that's set to one side. Now we've got some background paper. I don't know which one it is yet because she hasn't turned it over. Oh, okay, I think this is my favourite piece. And again, we've got the quickie glue pen coming out. And it looks like she's just following along the lines that are naturally in between the different colours on this piece. Okay, we've got the flakes. So again, she's going to drop these on and then kind of burnish them in. You can start off just by using your finger. In fact, you can do the whole thing just using your fingers. But if you have a stiff paintbrush, that really helps as well, just to press everything into place and to kind of brush away any of those extra pieces that aren't sitting on top of the glue. That, you know, anything that's going to fly away anyway, just kind of encourage it before you finish with the card, and then you can make sure all those teeny tiny pieces end up back in the jar or on a different section of your project. So she's using her fingers here just to kind of rub everything in, get any of the excess away. And then again, that paintbrush is coming out just to flatten everything down and smooth it out and bring out the shine. And then I have a sneaking suspicion, yep, so we're doing the same thing here on this cardstock. So again, just laying everything down on top, using your fingers first of all to burnish everything, and then I have a suspicion that that paintbrush is going to come back out to, there we go, to kind of just burnish everything and bring out the shine on those pieces. So now we just need to bring this all together. So we've got the patterned paper here. Oh no, is this a scrap of paper? Is this the white paper from the stamping? Let's find out. Oh, okay, this is the sparkly stuff. This is the good stuff. This is the super sparkly paper. And we've got that cut apart that's laying on top just with the sparkly piece being slightly bigger and with the other clips been brought in. And then the backings, so this trick, I've used this trick in a couple of my videos, and it's such a good trick to help you lay everything down. You've only got a teeny tiny bit of stick, which means you've got some wiggle room, and then when you're happy with where everything is, you peel away the extra. And then that top is in the centre, and that card is finished, and we're on to the last one.
I think it's probably about time that I gave Laura's voice a rest. Considering all of these lives that she gets to do in my Facebook group, she's probably equally as raspy as I feel. Okay, so I've cut out one of the little speech bubbles here from the cut apart sheets, and I've popped a sticker on the front, which is a really nice, positive, cheery encouragement sentiment, I suppose you could say. That's gone straight on there, and then I've cut out one of the hearts from a cut apart as well, so I haven't left it in its natural state as it's intended, if you like. Popped some foam square on the back of it, and I've mounted it up onto some of that black specialty cardstock. Here I'm just taking a little strip. I need to stop doing this where I turn the pattern's paper over so that you can't see what pattern it is. And again, I apologise for my head, it made quite a few appearances in this video, but I did just have my hair done, so, you know, hopefully you don't mind too much. Here I'm just running around the edge using the peel-offs, and as you can see it's much easier before it's mounted up on foam. So, and this is another way to use ribbon. I'm a big fan of using ribbon in cards. I think they can look very pretty, but often just tying a bow and wrapping it around, it's just another alternative. So I've put some double-sided sellotape along one edge of the little square there, and then I ran another piece of double-sided sellotape across the top of all those little pieces of ribbon I've laid in, and then I just fold them all back in on themselves to create these little loops. It's nothing dramatically unique, it's just another way to use it. Then I popped some foam squares up on the back of that little heart tile, and to be fair, as I look at it now, that would have worked quite happily as a card by itself, just on that nice green patterned paper. And here I'm taking some of the little stars, because there are some wonderful little embellishment bits in this book, and then just decorating up that little speech bubble. Here I'm popping some double-sided sellotape, and I'm just working out because I want to run a couple of bits of ribbon behind my sort of my speech bubble, if you like, and I'm just running the ribbon around using the lines on my grid mat to make sure that I have it at exactly the same height on both sides. And you see, when you're wrapping the ribbon around paper, it's quite easy for you to get a bit keen and bow the paper, so laying it flat like this often helps with keeping it all straight. I think Laura might have lost all sensation in her feet from kneeling down doing this voiceover, because she's standing in the corner of the hotel room stretching around trying to be as quiet as a mouse. Okay, so I've popped double-sided sellotape all along the back panel. Sorry guys.
I forgot you could see me.
I've done that corner trick again just to make sure that if I did get it wrong, it's only a little bit of stick that I have to peel up. And now I'm just removing all the backings off and assembling the card, and there it is. So now these are the leftover supplies, so there's plenty of cutter parts still available. And I've got some black specialty cardstock, I've got some regular black, some of the glitter, I've still got some white, which is perfect for stamping the rest of the stickers, the peel-offs, the rest of the sticker book, which I barely touched, the whole stamp set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full sheets of 6x6 papers, and I actually use quite a lot comparatively to recent kits. And there's still plenty of nice little bits and pieces. There's all the ribbons, there's nude drops, the dies, plenty of gilding flakes, lots of stars, one of the diamonds, sequins, and another sheet of little chevrons there. Okay, so additional products that I use: my trimmer, my Misty, my T-square ruler, Versamark Simon Says Intense Black and Twirling Tutu, Distress Oxides in the 3 colours, I will confirm back to you with those, Anti-Static Powder, Glossy Accents Washi, Double-Sided Tape, Glue Dots, Foam Squares, Acrylic Block, 2 circle dies, my stiff paintbrush, my tweezers, Post-it Note, Coffee Filter, Quickie Glue Pen, my Nuvo pens, Distress Marker, Pencil, Pokey Tool. I'm really running out of breath now, guys. I'm hoping that you can see everything that I'm showing here. And there's also obviously like my die cutting machine and some of the bigger tools that I don't pull underneath. But here are the still shots of the cards. There will be a blog post up shortly. I'll probably get to that once I'm back from Frankfurt, which I'm going to be going to this weekend, to the next show, which is Creative World. And until then, oh, there you go, there's the diamonds, the additional diamonds that I stuck to that card that Laura did the jumping on the voiceover. Anyway, until next time, thank you ever so much for watching all the way up until the end. Do take care, with lots and lots and lots of love from Phoenix. Happy paper crafting. Bye!
Bye!